Okay. We're officially recording. And yeah, I think we can go ahead and get started. I will try to keep an eye out on the wait room and make sure no one is waiting to get in. I wish there was a way to just say admit all and let everybody in, but I just have to keep an eye on that. So hi everyone, welcome back to those of you who joined us, I think it was last week. Or the week before rather, but very excited for today's event. As you can see, this week I am not in an airport, which I'm very happy about. I'm back home in Bogota, Colombia. That's where I am based out of, but I'm originally from Massachusetts. Would love to hear where everyone is tuning in from today if you want to drop it in the chat. Really quick introduction of me for those who don't know. Apologize for those who have already heard this, but my name is Lauren. I'm the Director of Brand Partnerships at Wonderful. I also run a small influencer marketing agency and represent some bloggers. I'm the creator of Wally the Wandering Wallaby, which is a children's brand aimed at inspiring children to travel the world. And which is more relevant to today, I'm the creator of the Healthy Girl Gratitude and Productivity Planner. So I am obsessed with goal planning, all things productivity, and creating just a healthy, happy, and balanced life in all facets of life. So excited for you to be here today. We have a lot to get through. Although, I wanted to just check and see who was able to attend the first, looking back. I don't know if we all have this handy. Who joined the looking at the past year event. And then I also did an event last Friday about goal planning in general. So that is all linked on the membership hub. I think I still need to get a recording up from the first one in case anyone needs that. I am working on that, but we are recording today. So let me just make sure. I did looking back session, good stuff. Oh, thank you, Barbie. I'm so glad you were able to join us. I want to make sure everybody has this tool for today. I know in the past couple, I had mentioned, the planner that I use, which of course I love and recommend. I created it for ambitious women. But today we are going to be focusing on this resource, the YearCompass. I am going to drop it. Hold on one second. I don't know if you can all see my screen or not, but I'm going to grab this link and drop it in the comments in case anyone needs to download it. But if not, I'd say let's get going. We have a lot to cover. So everyone can kind of go forward, skip ahead the past year. If you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend being able to carve out some time to do that. We are focusing on the year ahead today. And we're going to go to page 1, which looks like this, if you can see it. Again, similar to the last workshop we did, today's very workshop style. We are going to take actual time to reflect, to think, and to write down instead of like a presentation where I'm going through things. We're actually here to create time and space for ourselves to actually think about this year ahead that we have. So this first part is called Dare to Dream Big. I love this part. This is my favorite part because it is the kind of go nuts area. This is not the page to be really, particular with yourself. And, in the last event I did, I was talking about being super realistic and making sure you're making realistic goals for yourself, which is very important, but it's also very, very important to dream big and not hold back. So this section is, what does the year ahead look like for you? What will happen in an ideal case? What will it be? Why will it be great? What will be great about it? Write, draw, let go of your expectations, and dare to dream. So I want to take 10 minutes to let your creative juices flow, let your mind wander, go nuts, think of the most amazing year that you could possibly have this year, and write it down. Again, we want to be thinking not just work goals or business goals, but for your travel goals and personal goals and family goals, whatever it is, this is the place to just create that ideal year. So let's get about 10 minutes on the clock and everybody go for it. And also, if anyone has questions or thoughts throughout, always feel free to give me a shout, write in the chat. This is supposed to be a very collaborative style workshop for us all. And in about maybe 8 minutes, I'll ask if anyone would like to share a piece of their Dare to Dream Big section. To all those who just joined us, we are currently on the Dare to Dream Big section. It's the first page in the YearCompass, the year ahead, this part. So let me know if you have any questions for those who are just joining and might be confused at where we're at. We are just getting started on the Dare to Dream Big section. For those just joining us, we are currently on the first section of the YearCompass workbook in the year ahead section. It is the first page and it's called Dare to Dream Big. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat and I will definitely answer. Okay, Leticia, I missed the first two sessions, so I don't know if it's okay to jump in at the year ahead or not. I would say, yes, you're here. Might as well take advantage of the time. What I would suggest is afterwards, maybe still reviewing your past year. I always suggest doing the past year first, just so that you are getting a really good look at what did my last year look like before kind of moving on to the next, creating goals for the year ahead. But at the same time, since you're already here and you've already carved out the time, why not? So that's my advice, but you are free to do whatever you wish. I can also send you the links to those, the past event I did. So we've done 2 events so far. The first one being looking at the past year. I do not have a recording on that. However, I've gotten a lot of feedback that people wish it was recorded. So what I'm going to do is probably after this, I'm going to do a short recording, just walking you through each page and kind of giving you a background of how to approach each part. And I'm not going to be like, okay, everyone take 10 minutes like we are now. I'll just, you can pause and then do your thing, go to the next section like that. So I'll try to post that in the next couple of days. I also recommend watching the Goal Planning 101, which is not a workshop. It was more of a webinar where I just talk through my goal planning process and also my vision board creation process. And I give you links to the templates that I use. This is I don't know if you can see that. This is my vision board I have on the back of my phone screen. So that's a really helpful one to watch. You can kind of skip around in that one. And then we're recording today. So you can always, I guess, Leticia, that's an idea. You could always leave if you want. I can send you the recording of this and you can do everything in a row. I forgot that we were recording this. So you could do that too if you want. That's an option. Awesome. Okay, I will do that. I will totally do that. So feel free if you are a smidge overwhelmed right now, feel free to, you can also stay if you like, but we can do that in in the order. And I can send you all those links. So let me just make a note of that before I forget. And then Anne, I see you said that would be helpful as well. So I will do that. No worries. Before you leave though, make sure that you are a part of because what I'll do is I'll just post this in our accountability circle group. Where is that? How do I share this? Hold on. I wonder, I don't know if this works. Will someone tell me if this works if I drop this here? That should be the link to our goals and accountability group circle. And on the feed there, I will post links to all the recordings so that you can do everything in order, and then everyone will have access to it. So keep an eye out for that. But if you are not signed up for this group yet, I highly recommend it. Obviously, part of your membership, it will have links to all the recordings of things we do. And we also have a goals check-in at the end of each quarter. So it's a great way to stay accountable. We'll get on some quarterly calls. And also, it's going to be a place where we can drop things in the chat, help each other keep accountable, ask questions. I'm going to be dropping resources as I come across them. If you check the feed now, we've already started to do that. So I recommend everybody join that group. Okay, but we are definitely at time now. So I wanted to ask if anyone would be willing to share one thing from their Dare to Dream Big. Obviously not the whole thing, but maybe like a really big dream that you have for this year that you maybe haven't worked out how you're going to work it out in your goals plan, but just like your big dream of the year. Would anyone like to share? Anybody?
Yes, I will.
Hi, Sandra.
So I am working on creating, I guess, like a kind of a culture or a brand, right? And it's going to be called Money Smart Travelnistas. And so I just want to build like a whole just vibe around it, talking about taxes, talking about travel, having gear. Like I did a brainstorming with a friend. She's like, man, this could be amazing. So just really utilizing that and making it serve women that are traveling. So I'm super excited about it. I have no idea how it's going to work out.
Love
But
it. That's what
but
the Dare to Dream Big section is all about. So you got it down. You wrote it down. We talked about how important writing it down is. I know you're a big fan of that as well. So, hey, it's written down.
yeah. So I'm excited to see how it all plays out. And this is like the most excited I've been about something in a while. So
Love it.
just putting it all in God's hands, and I'm gonna do my part and trust that He'll do the rest.
I love it. That is such a great way to approach it. I know yeah, it's like that feeling of just, oh my gosh, I've actually put it down on paper, or I've said it out loud, like that kind of butterfly feeling of like excitement around creating something, or, going toward after, accomplishing these big goals. So thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next section, and I will ask for a volunteer to maybe speak a little bit like Sandra just did about each section, because I think it's really nice to kind of share what we're working on or what we're envisioning. Okay, so we're moving on to, this is what my next year will be about. Take a look at the areas of your life and decide your goals for each of them for the next year. Put those goals on the page. This is the first step towards realizing them. So I think we definitely talked about this in the past year as well, thinking about our goals and our life in general in multiple different pillars. In my planner, I have obviously a goals section. There's 8, what I consider to be the 8 key categories. This is a really, really awesome layout of, these different sections as well. So we're going to take also 10 minutes here. We want to think about our next year, the year that we're in now, looking at them from these different pillars. So personal life and family, career and studies, friends and community, relaxation, hobbies, creativity, physical health and fitness, mental health, self-knowledge, habits that define you, and a better tomorrow section is what will you do this coming year, or this year that we're in, to leave the world in a better place than you found it. So yeah, thinking about our goals in all facets of our life, again, not just career, but looking at this in, a whole holistic sense. I have some huge, not huge, well, for me, they're huge, physical health and fitness goals for this year that I'm building on from my previous year. And I am very excited about creating a SMART goal plan around those particular fitness markers this year. So that's just, something I'm thinking about. But yeah, we want to look at each and every bucket and think about what do we want to put our time towards. So let's take 10 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions or need any clarification on this section, and I will ask for someone to share maybe one of these at the end of those 10 minutes. I couldn't find Fridays or have a copy of the booklet. Send me links to, please. Sure. No problem. One sec. So, okay, I'm dropping the year. This is the booklet, the link I just dropped, the YearCompass.com/download. Make sure that you're downloading the correct version. There's a printable version, which is going to print like going to show weird digitally, because the idea is it's in a booklet. And there's a digital version, which you can actually fill out on your computer. There, space to just type in there. So that's that. And then Friday's event, let me grab that. One moment. To copy link address. One sec.
Like literally this morning, I closed $22,000 on the spot. I'm not making this up.
Add my apologies.
Hello.
Okay, and then I'm dropping the Goal Planning 101 recording from Friday's event here. So those are those two. You are so welcome. And I'm also just dropping the link to, again, this is totally in case we can talk more about this at the end of the session, but I'm gonna drop the link to my planner in the comments as well, in case you're looking for a resource that is gonna help you with your goals throughout the year. Because I think the YearCompass is an amazing free resource to plan out, look on your past year and plan out the next year. But I designed this planner to help you stay accountable for these goals on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis for the next 4 months at a time. So I'll drop that in case you want to take a look at it. Okay, want to check in and see if anyone would like to share maybe one goal from one of your buckets, one of your pillars that you're really excited about for this year, something you really want to focus on.
Sure, I will.
Okay.
So I always thought you needed to be crazy to have like a therapist. And this past year told me that that's not necessarily the case. It's nice to have someone to bounce your ideas and what you're thinking off that's not your husband
Yep.
or your mom or even your best friend, because sometimes you don't want to tell your best friend things that they're going to think about and bring up at a later date. You know, you don't want to put them on the line for that.
Yeah,
And
like
so,
unbiased
right,
outsider. Yeah.
right. So I went to my primary care physician last week and I said, listen, I need a referral to a therapist. And he said, I think that's a great idea. So I called this morning actually to set up my first appointment. So I'm excited about that.
I am so excited for you, and thank you so much for sharing
Mhm.
this because I, like you, I am a massive proponent of mental health, mental wellness, and that stigma of like, yeah, like you said, you must be crazy or be having some sort of issue to be, seeing a therapist. And the fact is, everybody's dealing with something all the time. And I very much look at, I am no medical professional whatsoever. But I totally look at it like you would have a trainer at the gym,
Right.
even if you're in incredible shape, you're still going to want to be training those muscles. And for me, that's the same with your mental health and your mind. So congratulations. I am so happy for you and excited for you that you already made that happen in the first month of the year.
Right.
So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I really, really appreciate that. And
Mhm.
you just re-inspired me because I have a therapist here in Colombia who has impacted my life in such an incredible and amazing way. And I haven't seen her since last year. So that just gave me I need to get back on it. So thank you. Okay, so I think we can move on unless anybody really would like to share, which I'm a big proponent of, but we can move on to the next section, which is magical triplets for the year ahead. I keep saying I love this section. I keep flipping and being like, oh my gosh, I love this section too. So this section is like thinking about, for each category listed, 3 things in each category. The first one I love, again, I'm a huge fan of self-love and gratitude and just constantly bringing those kind of like positive thoughts and positive light into your life. So the first thing, which I think sometimes we struggle with because we never give ourselves compliments the way we might give friends or family or other people around us. So the first thing being 3 things I will love about myself. So perhaps it's something that you might have been struggling with in the past year that you want to make sure you focus on in this year to really bring love to yourself, love yourself for doing this thing or something about you that you really love. I will give an example, which is going to fall under letting go and something I love about myself. So I have always had a very loud, big personality, and I have tried to make myself smaller or kind of be quieter to maybe fit in with people around me or situations around me. And I realized that was something that I was like holding myself back with. Like I was trying to hold my personality back to make maybe other people feel comfortable or something like that. And I thought, this year I really want to lean into being me and embracing this is who I am, and kind of letting go of, feeling maybe insecure about being loud and being really passionate about things. So that's an example from my side. So 3 things that you will love about yourself, 3 things you're ready to let go of, 3 things that you want to achieve the most this year. Again, this can be in any facet of your life. For example, we're just talking about, therapy. Maybe it is something you want to achieve this year is being really consistent with, your appointments and making sure that you're consistently seeing your therapist through the year, for example. 3 things that 3 people, excuse me, that will be my pillars during rough times. So perhaps it's a husband or a wife or a best friend or your therapist or whoever that might be, a mentor, literally naming those people. 3 things that you will dare to discover. I think this can be interpreted in many different ways. Maybe it is leaning into a topic that you haven't fully dove into, that you've been putting off, something you really want to learn about. But yeah, you can approach this section however you're taking it. And then these three things I will have the power to say no to. I think this section is very, very powerful. I'm someone who often says yes to things, even when maybe they're not serving me. So let's think about, what are we going to say no to this year, to create more space for things that you want to do and put more time into. So let's put 5 to 10 minutes on the clock. I'll see where we're at about 5 minutes in, and then we'll get hopefully a volunteer to share one of these things. Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Thank you. No, I think you might be muted. Hold on. Let's see.
I am. Okay.
Oh, now I can hear you. Hi.
So what do you suggest we keep this booklet? Is this something that you should go back to every so often? What do you suggest?
So I have a couple of different suggestions. The first one being, if this is going to be the resource for you for this year for your goals, right? I would just keep it literally next to you on your desk on a daily basis. It is in front of you. Your eyeballs can see it. I am a big, sorry, I'm just moving Wally out of the way. I am a big fan of making sure things are in view and in front of us so we don't forget about them. Now, what I do is I take using the resource that we're using today, what I've thought about, what I've dreamed up goals wise, and then I narrow it down. I narrow down my focus and I create SMART goals around all of these different pillars. And I use this section of my planner to write down my goals in those different sections and then create action steps for each one of those. Now, this I'm looking at on a daily basis.
Mhm.
I'm looking at reminding myself of what's going on. Yeah, from like you can look at it from a daily, monthly, weekly style basis, but that's what I do. I like use this resource as my dreaming up of the year. And then I focus down and make those into like actionable goals. And I'm referencing them on a daily basis in my own planner. So if you have a daily journal or notebook or something where you can kind of reference every day, or you can use this. I just find this resource is more of like dreaming things up than creating like really specific SMART goals for the year. This is like my starting resource for that.
I should
I hope
start.
that's helpful. And would anyone, I think we might be at time for this. Would anybody like to share from this section? Anybody?
I do, Lauren.
Hi, Pam. Go ahead. Tell us.
All right. Okay. So three
no, I
things the most.
Okay, I can hear you again.
Yeah. So I want to do these three things the most, and the first one would be more constant in exercising because I use routine.
Pam, I'm having,
And really incorporate
I'm having a really hard
traveling.
time hearing you. Is anyone else having a hard time hearing Pam? I just want to make sure it's not my connection.
No, she's going to know.
Okay. Pam, unfortunately, we're only getting maybe 10% of what you're saying, which I'm really sad about because I really want to hear this. I'm thinking, would you want to type it out in the chat and maybe I can read it after the next section? I'm sorry about that. I really wanted to be able to hear your thoughts here. But yeah, let's do that. Pam. Oh, I think she left. Maybe she's going to come back in and try again. We'll wait for Pam to come back. But I would like to move on to the next section just because we are running low on time. This section is actually what I think is a little bit quicker. It is another magic triplet section, but you can do it however you want. I typically use this section. I usually do one thing, not three things. You are absolutely welcome to do three things, one thing, two things, whatever you want. But I do one per section. So completely up to you. But we'll give about 5 minutes to kind of brainstorm in this section. This is about like creating a really lovely routine for yourself, a really cozy environment to achieve your goals. So the first one being 3 things that I will make my surroundings cozy with, whether it's things you already have or maybe something you want to get for yourself. Let me add Stacy in. I just got a essential oil diffuser, which is like a new gift to myself for this year to like really create that cozy surrounding. 3 things I will do every morning, or 1 for me this year, it was getting outside. I did not get enough sunlight. I did not get enough time outside. So every morning I'm going on a morning walk. These 3 things I will pamper myself with regularly, 3 places that I will visit. I know none of us will have a problem with that section. I think it's going to be hard to limit it to 3 places, but then connect with my loved ones in these 3 ways. And then 3 presents I will reward my successes. So yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, you travel with your diffuser. Love that. So yeah, let's give 5 minutes to this section and you can do 1 to 3 things per section and maybe one of us can share. And Pam, hi Pam, I see that you're back. We moved on to the next section, but I want to see if your audio is working and you can tell us about the last section.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's working now. I'm
I
sorry.
can hear you. Yay. Okay, tell us.
Oh, okay. So I was mentioning that the things that I want to achieve this next year, it's to be more constant in exercising. Because usually when I'm traveling, I kind of, I stop exercising. But I think that while traveling, I can incorporate some exercise so I don't lose the routine and all the progress that I have done. So
Love that.
my goal in this next year will be to incorporate exercising and keep like the fitness life more proactively.
I love that. Big
That would
fan of
be one. And then the second would be like have more space for reading. Because in the past, I used to read a lot. And now I think like for the last 4 years, I've been like just reading like 3 years a book. And I mean, it's good, but I would like to, improve that. And I think for doing that, I should establish a schedule for using social media, because I notice that that's what it really sometimes takes more of my time very quickly. So I think like establishing and really compromising to just use my phone for social media in a certain time will help me a lot to have a space for other things.
Great idea.
Yeah. So those are my 3 things that I would love to accomplish or be better this year.
Those are great, Pam. Thank you so much for sharing. I think a lot of us can relate to all of those. Okay, amazing. So while Pam was chatting, thank you for that. If you have started to write your magical triplets for the next section, great. We'll do a couple more minutes there. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll probably have someone share in the next 3-ish minutes. Okay, so I know that wasn't a ton of time, but just to make sure we use the next 15 minutes to complete this, if you haven't finished this section, obviously feel free to come back to it. I think this is a very easy one to kind of come back and rethink about, what other things do I want to create a cozy environment and whatnot. But does anyone want to share something before we move on, just as a little inspiration to the rest of us? Anybody? If not, no worries, we can move on. Okay, that's okay. I did share my oil diffuser thing, so we are going to move on to the next section in our next 15 minutes. So we have essentially 2 sections left to get through. So I think we're doing okay on time, but this next part is 6 sentences about my next year. This is like defining how your next year is going to go, where you're pulling energy from and maybe leaving, pulling energy from and taking energy from to no longer put, your time and energy into something that might be holding you back. So This year, I will not procrastinate anymore on. And then I also I also think that you can look at this section similar to how Pam just said her thing about like her phone. I think this section is saying like procrastinating on a project, but it also could be like, this year I will not procrastinate anymore by taking out my phone to doom scroll or something like that. So you can look at it at kind of two different ways. This year I will draw the most energy from. I love this one because it's thinking about where are you going to be getting inspiration, getting energy from. I'm thinking about that in terms of like exercise and getting sun first thing in the morning by morning walks. This year I will be the bravest when. Ooh, I think this one I need to think about. I would like to hear your feedback on how you're interpreting this one. This year I will be the bravest when. I need to think about that one. Give me your thoughts and feedback. This year I will say yes when. Yeah, I think this is a great way to think of like opportunities coming your way. But also creating boundaries around when you're going to say no to things. And then this year I advise myself to, so maybe you're going to be putting more energy and time into learning something or approaching situations in a different way with different energy, whether this is at work, with family, anything like that. And then this year will be special for me because, so that one's pretty self-explanatory, how you're going to make this year special. So let's take 5 to 10 minutes. I will just watch the clock because we only have about 12 minutes left. And, oh, I see a comment from Kelly. Bravest when. I fear I'm not good enough or worried about the future and how it will all work out. I am with you there, Kelly. I think that a lot of us can relate to that. So I think that's a great way to interpret this year I will be bravest when. You fear you're not good enough, but drawing from, energy around you, really trying to get your mind in the right place to face that. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, great. So we'll take a couple minutes to brainstorm in this section, and then we'll get to the final section. All right, everyone, in the final 8 to 7-ish minutes that we have, we will move on to the final section, which is my word for the year and then your secret wish. So let's first focus on my word for the year. I think this is very powerful. Choosing a word to symbolize and define your year ahead. You can look at this word if you need some extra energy, so you remember not to give up on your dreams. So perhaps, Kelly, for you, maybe it's brave. If that is, aligns with that particular, sorry, I just dropped something. Yeah, if that aligns for how you want to approach this year, I think that's a really, really good one. I came across this list by Elizabeth McKnight. I do not know this person, but I came across I'm dropping it in the chat. Word of the year ideas, and it's for 2024. I think there's like 100 words. Obviously, you can go beyond these words, but this is a great, for me, sometimes I need a little assistance or a little inspiration, if you will. I think this is a great list to kind of look through and find some inspiration for where you want to, what you want that word to be for your next year. Brave, connection, creativity, devotion, discipline, empowerment. There's a lot of great words in here. So let's take a couple of minutes to look through them and try to think about all the sections that we've done together over this past hour-ish. And what is that one word that kind of encompasses all the things that you were writing about? So let me know. And about, I don't know, let's take a couple minutes, 3 minutes to just look through this or think on your own. If you'd prefer to just think on your own and not look at any inspiration, that is a-okay as well. Whatever works for you. And I'm sure there's also tons of other lists and resources to look at. This is just one I came across that I thought I'd share. And I would love to hear as soon as you're ready, actually, even though we'll give everybody a couple minutes to look this over and think about it and whatnot. But if one comes straight to you, I would love to hear what your word is. I'm still deciding. I haven't chosen my word of the year yet. So I'm thinking bold, though. I think bold is the right word for me this year, especially with what I was telling you about earlier, that I have tried to make myself maybe a bit smaller or not talk about what I'm working on or my accomplishments, or just try to be quieter. And I don't want to be like that anymore. So maybe bold is my word. So let me know, anybody who has thought of theirs. I would love to hear your word. Perseverance. That is a great one. Oh my gosh. Kelly and Barbie, right after one after another. Perseverance. I love it. That is a great one. It's a sign. It's a sign. Yes. Discipline, limitless, action. Ooh, these are great. Focus. I have 2, intentional and presence. Love it. Intentional presence, or it can just be a combo. I don't see why not. Creativity, transformation. These are awesome. I'm getting inspired just hearing. Passion, adventure. Oh my God, these are awesome. Anybody else? Unless that's everybody. These are so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's move on to, obviously, take your time with this. If you need to think about it more, totally understand. You can always come back to it. Secret wish. Unleash your mind. What is your secret wish for the next year? For me, this is a little similar to the kind of dreaming up section that we started with. So, if there's anything else you wanted to add that maybe you left out of that, that's more of a wish than a goal per se. I haven't quite filled this part out yet, but again, I think what I love the most about this resource is the fact that it just allows you to not limit yourself, to just let your creative juices flow, let your kind of mind wander into what is possible. What do I dream of? What is my biggest wish for this year? And Yeah, so let's take a couple minutes. How much time do we have left? Ah, we only have 3 minutes. I guess we'll use the 3 minutes to think about what is that one big secret wish for this next year. I think I have mine, which I'm not sure if I want to share just yet. I might keep it to myself, but I think that's kind of what this section is, right? That one thing, maybe you don't want to share this, maybe you want to keep this close to your heart, just that like big wish that you're really, really hoping for. I think this section is like a positive manifestation section. So give yourself a couple of minutes and I'll check in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. This time always goes by so fast. I don't think we'll have time to share, but just take a couple of minutes to write down that wish and then we'll kind of wrap up. Also, can I just say I loved the participation today. I think it was awesome. I think next time we get together, we should do cameras on and chat more like face to face versus in the chat. So I'll try to facilitate that better next time, but I really appreciate everybody's participation. And also I'm going to drop the link again to the community group, which is our 2024 goals and accountability group. In case you are not a member of that, please join. It is open for members to join. It is members only part of the hub. And our next check-in is going to be March 18th. So that's obviously a bit of a ways away, but it's the end of Q1 and the beginning of Q2. But I really want to focus on using the feed and checking that section and trying to keep each other accountable. So I will be definitely posting in the feed some things to kind of keep us together and keep us interacting and connecting until our next meeting. However, I wanted to ask if anyone, and totally fine if not, I wanted to know if anyone would be interested in learning about how to use the tool we used over the past 2 weeks to further define your goals for the year. So perhaps going a little deeper into creating SMART goals and using the productivity planner. So let me know if anyone is actually interested in that, and perhaps I could do a session on how I'm using this on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to stay on track with my habits, goals, and everything. Yes, I want to turn these into actionable steps. Okay, Rebecca. Done. Yes, please. Okay, great. I will find a time to, okay, Anne is interested. Kelly is interested. All right. Good enough for me. Yes, yay. Okay, cool. So how about that? I will definitely get another event on the calendar so we can talk about taking this and creating more actionable goals like I have done here in this section. So, all right, I will let you all know. I'll post in the feed about it in the accountability group. I think we're over time. I know we're over time, but before we part, does anyone want to share their wish for the year? And then I promise I will let you go. If not, that's okay too. I think I'm keeping my wish close to my heart. So totally understand if you don't want to share. But one last attempt. Anybody? If not, no worries. I want to thank you all so much for coming today. I hope today was helpful. again, I do think that this booklet is very much more like dreaming and really thinking about the next year in a very open way. Whereas the next step, in my opinion, is like taking all the stuff that we've done over the last couple of sessions and whittling down, okay, now let's talk about like actionable steps to accomplish these goals in each one of these categories. So this is a process. Thank you so much for being along the journey in the process. I'm so happy we could make this time just for us to do this. Like I said, next kind of meeting is March 18th, but I'm definitely going to try to get something on the calendar in February, or maybe even sometime in the next week. I don't know. I'll put up a poll or something to see if you guys can join. You all can join maybe next week to talk about the planner that I made. Obviously, you don't have to use this. It can be any planner that you want to use to further create your goals. So I know we're over time, so I'll let you all go. I want to thank you so much for coming. I love this stuff. I'm very, very passionate about it. And I'm grateful that you're allowing me to be a part of this. So sending you all a big hug. Thank you so, so much. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon in the group. Again, I dropped the link in the comments. Make sure to join the group if you haven't already, and we can get together and talk about the next step in goal creation. So thank you all. Mwah. Have a great day, and we will chat soon. Bye.